Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Rage video, where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, have I got a special one for you guys. This one has been also a very long time coming. It is Wheels of Confusion, the first song on Black Sabbath Volume 4. In fact, can we just discuss the number 4 for a second? Because, as it turns out, some of the best things in life actually come in 4s. Resident Evil 4, for example, is, by large, the best game out of the Resident Evil series, and 4 fries are better than 3 fries. I guess. I'm not entirely sure how I was going with this metaphor. Also, I'm trying to think of literally any more examples right there, because the 4th season of Modern Family was actually better than season 3 from what I remembered. The point is that if I can come up with any more explanations, I think that'll be overstating the point. But what's quite interesting is that, did anybody, possibly back in 1972, did they have probably there may be people watching this right now who probably be wondering whether or not Black Sabbath truly had what it takes. Besides, we're coming straight off of Paranoid, for example. Paranoid, possibly the most important metal album that ever existed. Even more than Master of Puppets, even more than Rust in Peace. Possibly even more important than both of those combined, because you could say that's almost where it kind of really, where Black Sabbath became like almost a household name. However, this is despite the fact that I know absolutely nothing about Volume 4, and we are about to remedy this problem right now. So, if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. Let's begin. Wheels of Confusion. In 3, 2, 1, and... We are not even 10 seconds in, and you know what, guys? I think I'm going to have to up the ante as well. This is not just more... I think if this is how the album begins, then this might be possibly on the same level as Mothership. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Mothership, of all things. Guys, I'm going to make a very long thing at the end, but I don't think I've fallen in love with a song more than Wheels of Confusion. Fucking goddamn it, this song is... We're 1 minute in, and I think this song is, in my humble opinion, perfect. This is one of the most I'm gonna hold it together. I just want to cry. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm sorry guys, I have to freaking wipe away my tears. Guys, I am very sorry if this is what it takes to make a grown man cry, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you're wondering just why this song has made me feel this emotional, then I'm going to explain why. Because there's the Black Sabbath have managed to do have gripped me by the testicles, and they're ready to almost yank them off, and all I have to say to make them to stop is, I don't want this to happen. Please stop doing this. And they stop. Not because they accepted it, but because they wanted me to ask them. I feel as if, like, I want to ask Black Sabbath to make me feel emotional, and I think they do it. There we go, eh? You know, it's probably for the best that nobody could see me crying, because it's not particularly a very pretty sight. Don't get me wrong about that. So, I'm just going to still get this out of the way. That is still one of the most beautifully composed songs I think I've ever heard in my life. And I've heard shit like Disposable Heroes, Ghost Love Score, Dark Chest of Wonders. Not even the friggin' Flower Duet made me feel this pent up in such a long time. And the chorus, ladies and gentlemen, is actually very simple. The song Wheels of Confusion is about the loss of innocence and entering the world of man. You know, ladies and gentlemen, there's a very popular song I'm going to talk about from Black Sabbath called Symptom of the Universe, in which Black Sabbath paint love as one of the most beautiful and fantastic things that a person could go through. That's my interpretation anyway. And somehow Wheels of Confusion managed to turn that entirely on its head and try to make it seem like a world in which you are now no longer a man. You're just trapped within this giant cogwheel. You are just a cog in the part of the machine. The metro, the train system, public transportation, it's simply moving one cog from one place to another. You are still part of a machine, just a very different machine. And the realization, when the reality kicks in, that you're just a part of everything else, and when they say you'll find your place in the world, it means that only one type of machine in which your cog will fit. And that's what I believe the interpretation of the idea of the concept of Wheels of Confusion comes from. However, I did not expect how it to open. Long ago, I wandered through my mind in the land of fairy tales and stories. Childhood, you have being burst in imagination. Everything is sparkly, everything looks fantastic. It looks like a world you would want to belong in, because the real world may not be so kind. Lost in happiness, I knew no fears. Innocence and love was all I knew. It was an illusion. Trying to block out, utilizing fantasy to block out reality is a very common practice for people who are, I'd say, simply cannot hack or cannot take certain terrible things that happen on this earth. And I'm not saying anything bad against them. There are a lot of bad things that happen on this earth that a lot of people just want to dig our head in the sand and try and escape from. And I think it's the horrifying part about it is that when you think about it, how much easier would life be if we could all go back to our fantasies, go back into a world where we knew no pain and we didn't suffer, but we were allowed to think and be free. Are we truly that free in a free world, ladies and gentlemen? Soon the days were passing into years, age, time. Before you knew it, 10 years had passed you by. Happiness just didn't come so easy. You find, again, reality is a bitch, because it's the real world. You're now a part of the real world, and being a part of the real world is learning to accept that you can't get everything your own way, and that bad things happen in the real world just as much as good things happen. Life was more than fairy tales and daydreams. Innocence was just another word. It was an illusion. I feel like it would be in some way easier to probably explain exactly why I got so teary-eyed in the beginning. I mean, the third verse, I must say, the whole concept of you're still a loser in this game of life, which I think it's pretty obvious to say that no matter how much anybody succeeds or how much anybody does, they still die all the same. Nobody ever escapes death or escapes the cruel knife in the end, they say. But the first two parts, because that was the angle I was going for. And I don't want, listen, without wanting to turn this into sort of like, trying to, highlight my writing skills or anything like that. In many things I write about, I like to write about the fact that the real world simply robs us of just about everything. From being innocent to being happy to robbing us of life in a way that we don't seem to recognize that we are all running out of time. And for what? What purpose does it serve? Okay, I think the best way to describe it is in the sort of like book that I want to turn into a series is about love and innocence. Well, I'd say love. The series of books I want to write, they aren't really love stories because they're not. They're sort of, I would describe, allegories for the theft of innocence and how everything will come to die. Everything will be manipulated in front of us so that we will be forced to love the things around us, all the while taking us blissfully unawares of the fact that they are robbing us of every life we live, because we waste too much of our time on certain things like that only because we're forced into paying attention to them. I know it's a bit of a metaphor for the idea of succubi draining the life out of any potential male possible, young or old. They will do literally anything to get their way. I know it's a tough allegory, metaphor to sort of like put into words, but that's the way I feel like I can describe it. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, but what made, I think, Wheels of Confusion, what stood it out is the fact that Iommi and Butler just kind of gelled and fused everything together. They made it so that life shouldn't be confusing. They just made it so you should just sit back, relax, and just enjoy it. That's the secret to Wheels of Confusion, is that you can enjoy this song, unaware of the fact that it's preaching that you may not be so young or innocent any longer. It is one of the most captivating things I think I've ever heard of this song before. And that is just the beginning of this album. God damn, this is how I imagine the album to end. This feels more like the ending to an Iron Maiden album, let alone how it begins. Fucking god damn it. I'm not, without wanting to plow straight ahead, I'm just going to do the next song almost immediately after this one, so I hope forward to that you guys get to look forward to that. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this reaction to Wheels of Confusion by Black Sabbath. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Know what you guys thought about Wheels of Confusion for yourselves, and I hope to see you guys again in the next video. I promise I'll try and keep things bottled up if I can, but if not, well, that's Black Sabbath for you. Now I'm beginning to see why this may be the best of them all. Take care. Bye bye for now.